Greetings, foolish mortals. This is a little different video than I usually do. This is a video about kind of one of the things that's going on in the world that affects a lot of people, but mostly geeks and things like that we are. And it's the demise of the theater experience at movie houses across the world, really. This week, Regal Cinemas announced that they are going to more than likely close all their theaters again in the United States and in Europe. They are the #2 theater chain right after AMC, which is in huge financial problems right now. And all this comes on the heels of James Bond No Time to Die being moved to 2021 at Easter. Now, a couple weeks ago, they decided to move Black Widow deep into next year. I believe it's May again. And they decided to move Wonder Woman to Christmas Day, which for the theater chains means there's only 2 movies coming out for the rest of this year, really, which is Dune and Wonder Woman. And for some reason, I don't think either of those are going to stay where they are. I really think that Dune especially is going to move. That just does not seem like a Christmassy movie that people are going to go out and see when they could go see Wonder Woman, if that stays. If Regal and Cinemark do actually close, I think that will be pretty much a death knell to theater-going experiences in the United States for a while. Like I said, AMC says they might have 3 or 4 months of liquidity left. I'm sure they were looking for James Bond to be a big boost over Thanksgiving, and then hold on for Wonder Woman and Dune. But how long can you keep playing 30 or 40-year-old movies to 20 people in a theater at $5 a piece and stay, open? I know a manager of one of our AMCs, and he said, "Oh yeah, we're selling out," but when the sellout means anywhere from 15 to 30 people in a theater to watch, The Empire Strikes Back or Ghostbusters or whatever, that doesn't even pay his salary to be there, let alone everybody else and the concessions and, the food they've had to order, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know why Hollywood is doing this. This seems to be a self-inflicted wound it doesn't need to make. I get that Tenet did not make as much money as they wanted because of its limited release, but that was August. This is October. We were told 200 days ago 14 days to flatten the curve, and here we still are in face masks, not being able to go to the theater, and it's nuts. I know everybody's different levels of scared about COVID, but how long are we going to allow this to go on? Soon it's going to be winter again, and then they're going to say that we need to keep them on for this season's flu, or because COVID has come back. Tomorrow, it looks like they're going to start closing a ton of schools again in New York City. De Blasio has said he'd like to cordon off parts of the Bronx and Queens and keep 500,000 people in their homes. And New Yorkers, I know New Yorkers, they're not going to put up with that. If the other 4-point-some million people can wander around the city, then they're not going to put up with being confined to their homes, or to shut their stores down again, or everything else. But I don't know, this is kind of a rant, and you guys can comment at the bottom. Feel free. Tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm right. Either way, I just think that this is just a mistake Hollywood doesn't need to make. And what I really think is, I think that Amazon is going to come in and buy AMC. They were already looking at a partnership with them not too long ago. And, there were rumblings last year that Amazon is looking for a theater chain or a small theater chain so it can put its movies into theaters so that they can be Oscar contenders. Well, if you think about this year's Oscars, who's actually going to be in it? Tenet? You know, one of the only movies released to theaters this year. They're going to have to make exceptions that, like Mulan, is allowed to compete for Best Picture or whatever, but it was never released to theaters. So they're going to have to change all the rules they've lived with forever. And then how far do you change the rules? I see a lot of movies on Vudu that could say that they should be able to be in contention now, that's changed the rules. And we don't really want, you know, Scorpion King 6 to be nominated for Best Picture just because it was one of the few movies out. So that's all I really had. I've been thinking about this all day, and it really bugs me. I mean, can you imagine never seeing Star Wars or Raiders of the Lost Ark or Tenet or, you know, the Dark Knight on the big screen? Are we just going to stay at home now and watch them on our 70-inch TVs and that'll be enough for everybody? I don't want to do that. I like the theater. I like being able to go see Disney movies and Avengers. And can you imagine not seeing Endgame on the big screen? So anyway, that's it. I know this is kind of out of the ordinary, and I'll file it under rant when it's really just observations and frustration, I think, and a lot of people have that. So thank you guys again, and keep your chins up. Like and subscribe if you want. Talk to you guys all later. See ya.